of the Psy attack is printed out. So it's one of those little frame savers that we use. And here we go. The racers are off. Good luck to both racers. So here in the beginning, standard minute 8 cutscene. This is a nice, quiet little town. Onet, and yes, it is pronounced Onet. I hear many different pronunciations. Onet, Onet, Want, Wonetty. Wonetty's a joke. But apparently in Japanese, it's Oneto, and I do believe that Onet is the canon pronunciation. So Ness is sleeping, and then all of a sudden, boom! Here's the noise. So what is any kid to do? He's going to barge right out of his room, doesn't even talk to his mom, but he does walk into his sister's bedroom, and she just has a cracked bat laying around. It's like, hey, yo, sis, I ain't saying nothing. I'm taking this. But in all seriousness, you see both runners equipping the cracked bat. You actually do have to get the bat to leave the house. You don't have to equip it, but later on when Pokey joins, you will see that, well, you would see if they didn't equip it, that he'll give you extra text if you don't equip it, but if you don't even get it, he won't even let you leave. So you're going to see both runners. There's not going to be very much variance here. What we're looking for here is pathing. Spawns are actually turned off right now, so it's actually impossible to get any fights. So it looks like they're basically neck and neck. It looks like SaltyPhry might be like a half second ahead. And you'll notice very tight corners. You'll also see a lot of wall riding. You saw Stallings get stuck right there. It doesn't look like much, but that's a second lost every time you get stuck, roughly. You also saw Stallings getting the more optimal talk on Pokey there. Clean pathing from both runners. You can really tell a lot by a runner's experience level by how clean their pathing is. With some of the newer runners that haven't had as much time to get quite as experienced, you'll often see them taking non-optimal paths, walking out of their way. But both of these runners are taking very clean paths. And look at that talk from Stallings. Look at that task talk. He must only be a pixel or two over Mom. You need at least one pixel overlapping with an NPC to talk to them. And that was a very, very nice talk from Stallings right there. Oh no, someone's at the door. We better go see who it is. So it's Pokey. He's trying to tell you a story. He's saying that Picky got scared and ran away, but in reality, Pokey was the scared one. So both runners basically neck and neck. Got to go through a little more story progression stuff. Dad's going to call, and then the run is going to begin in earnest once they get out the door. So here we go. SaltyPhry leaving with about a 2-second lead. Looks like he's got a pretty clean path. Got a snake there. Wow, Stallings has a zoo outside. Stallings getting a much better spawn this time. He can just walk past the crow. SaltyPhry checking the crow's flight pattern, and he jebaited him. It looked like he was flying away, but he actually flew towards him. But very nice move, getting the crow stuck on the bush there. Unfortunately, Stallings taking a dogfight here. He might have chosen just to take it. It almost looked like he just took it, unless he felt like he was going to get red swirled and he didn't have any other choice. So, SaltyPhry, I'm in a very good hill. He's going to have a little bit of a lead here. Spawns are actually off at the point that he's at. Well, they're not off yet. They turn off when you talk to Picky. But once you get to a certain point on the hill, there's no more spawns. Stallings going for a despawn here. You can walk far enough left to make that enemy go off screen, but not far enough left that you respawn. Oh, wow. Stallings, so lucky. That dog got sub-pixeled. It didn't even look like the dog was stuck on a wall. Oh, snake. And unfortunately, he gets the red swirl. At least this enemy is not that violent, but he's wasting time here. Good move on the auto fight, at least. He's going to at least save. Like, if you don't auto fight, you have to select the bash each turn. So, auto fight is a good move, but the snake is dodging. The snake is Neo. At least it's down there. So, the benefit to that, at least, since he fought the dog, I believe he got a level out of it. You only get 1 experience from the snake, so there's not really a benefit. But the dog fight could make the first shark that he fights outside the arcade a little safer. So let's look and see when SaltyPhry. SaltyPhry started walking down at 622. We'll be able to see what kind of lead he has. So SaltyPhry already making it to Starman. He's on pace to maybe have a sub-8 Starman, which is what you really want without Manip. So yeah, it looks like SaltyPhry is probably going to be about a minute ahead already. Yeah, just shy of a full minute lead. Yo, SaltyPhry getting the guard there. Starman can actually do a few different things. He can do fire, which attacks every enemy. BuzzBuzz puts up a shield so it doesn't hurt you, like right here. Notice that you get the reflect text for every single enemy, which wastes time. He can also do freeze, which only targets a single kid, and that is quicker since you only get the reflect from one. Look like SaltyPhry down Starman with a 7:48. That is a very good Starman time for non-manip. That is very, very good. Anything sub-8 is good. So even Stallings, even with those fights, starting Starman right at 8 even, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's still very good. Getting the fire, of course. Starman can actually do Fire Alpha and Fire Beta. He can do Fire Alpha, Fire Beta, freeze, and he can guard. Guarding is actually defending, which reduces his damage by 50%. If BuzzBuzz does a normal bash attack, which is a level 2 attack, he can also do a charge forward, which is a level 3 attack, and it is not affected by defend. So if Starman guards and BuzzBuzz either smashes or charges forward, it will not half his damage. But if he does the normal bash attack, it will. Yeah, Stallings not having a very good Starman fight here. Lots of fire. Like, some people just want to see the world burn, and apparently Starman is one of them. So, he didn't really make up any time on that fight. He's still going to be at least about a good minute behind, but, you know, this is such a wild and unexpected speed run that anything can happen. Anything can happen. This is not insurmountable by any means. You see SaltyPhry making his way out. Onet has turned today. It is no longer nighttime. And you can get a few spawns on this walk right here. He saw a dog. He made the move to despawn it. You can't stutter dogs. And otherwise a clean walk. So he's going to go get the Mr. Baseball cap. We actually only get the item to sell it. I believe it sells for $99. So look at this. Did you even know this was up here? It's a secret treehouse. Apparently you've wanted it for a long time. So here is a speed trick right there. He's actually going to equip the hat, even though all he wants to do is sell it. The reason being, he's going to buy the baseball cap in the shop. And due to one of the game's mechanics, whenever you have an item equipped and you buy a new one to replace it, the shopkeeper prompts to buy it from you. So it's quicker to have him prompt to buy it and sell it to him that way than it is to sell it individually or independently. You notice SaltyPhry picking up the burger. Almost every runner will pick up the burger there. Some people apparently like to save the burger for cops, and they just buy one more on the way to Giant Step. I'd actually never heard of that strat until earlier today. So you see SaltyPhry taking this weird walk, like, hey, why is he walking all the way over here? Well, he's actually doing a despawn, and the guy's done his homework, apparently, because he hit that despawn almost perfectly. Sometimes people will take a slightly inoptimal path, or non-optimal path for the despawn there, because there is a precise way to do it. But he did it very nicely. So the Pogopunk charging forward, and he used the bread roll to heal. I really like the auto fight on this fight, but you know, some people maybe are a little scared that they won't be able to disable the auto fight quick enough. But you know, you can actually just hold B to auto fight, which a lot of people don't know. A lot of people think you have to actually mash it, but you can actually just hold the B button down. But smart move using the bread roll there. You'd really prefer to get that bread roll out of your inventory sometime through the arcade sequence so that you can replace that inventory slot with a hamburger. And there he goes. He's auto fighting on this one because he has full HP. He's not worried. He's not worried at all about dying here. You know, that first chart can be a little scary. Ooh, and the smash. That's actually a 1 out of 20 chance for a smash. It's actually guts over 500, but up until your guts over 500 exceeds 1 over 20, it's actually 1 over 20. It's 1 over 20 or guts over 500, whichever is greater. And for the first good part of the game, 1 over 20 is going to be greater than your guts over 500. It's actually the same chance to avoid mortal damage, what we call a gut save, where your HP will tick down to 1 instead of taking mortal damage. So auto-fighting the Yes-Man Jr. as well. That guy's pretty easy at that point. Stallings also going for the despawn, and he hit it perfectly. Perfect, or not despawn, but spawn skip. Perfect spawn skip from Stallings there. Ooh, going for the fruit juice. You know, me personally, I'm not really a fan of the fruit juice because it basically just does as much as a cookie. But I guess if you're only a few HP shy, it can help. Now here on Frank, you're going to see SaltyPhry healing with a burger. A lot of people will use their psi points first, since you get a full restore after Frank. Maybe he's going to try to skip the Frank heal. And the strat is you basically just have to heal every time, because Frank is a very vicious enemy. There he goes. He's going for the life up now. But yeah, generally you want to try to save your burgers because you're going to shop. You're going to have to buy anywhere from 4 to 8 burgers. If you use no healing items, including the bread roll, you would buy 4. And then for every one you use, you would buy up to a max of 8. Oh, Stallings falling to the Pogopunk. As you saw there, Ness missed, as Ness likes to do. Now, the bad part about this is you have to actually walk all the way back. Luckily, Mom will give you a full restore, because when you die and continue, you don't have any side points left, and he actually has to get a mandatory photo trigger outside. It cannot be skipped. I mean, you could skip it with frame perfect stutters, but that's task only. Okay, so you saw SaltyPhry going to auto fight after the life up. Life up is going to max you out here, and there's no risk of dying, so you might as well go to auto fight. You have more than enough time to turn it off and do any sort of healing that you need. So you saw him getting through fairly easily. I didn't see how many healing items he used. He's definitely going to have to buy a few more because he was using burgers instead of life ups there early on. And you see Stallings getting the aforementioned mandatory photo trigger. So people refer to this as the walk of shame. You got to walk all the way back in. At least at this point from the levels, these enemies are going to run. And you see SaltyPhry going back to Frank. He's an enemy. You beat him up, and now he wants to allow you to rest to restore your HP and psychic points. So it's kind of weird how he turns from an enemy into an ally. So SaltyPhry is going to go get the key from the mayor to the shack, which leads to Giant Step. And he is going to fill up on burgers. How far in are they? They're only about 14 and a half minutes in. Stallings is actually on take 2 for the arcade here. And unfortunately, he has to fight this guy again. There are some areas in the game where if you die to the enemy, you don't have to fight him again. And one of those is the shack fight. If you die to the shack fight and happy, when you come back, so there's good news and bad news if that happens. The good news is you don't have to fight him again. The bad news is you have to walk back. And this time through, takes him down no problem. Didn't even take any damage. Now, just to point out, someone said 5th of the run, but they're talking about this run is a partial game category, and it's really only about a 4th of the game. So Stallings going for auto fight on the S-Man Jr. and getting a lucky smash, taking him out. So SaltyPhry is either going to take out 100 or 140 here, I would say. What's he going to do? 140. So the benefit of taking out a little more is if you have to buy burgers on the way back, you won't have to use the ATM, and you can buy a couple burgers. Stallings making his way to Frank. You do not play on Frank. You heal every time you hit him. You'll sometimes see newer runners try to play risky, and you cannot play risky on Frank. Even the most seasoned veteran runners of this game will always be healing every single time Frank hits them. So you're probably going to see SaltyPhry just fill up on burgers. I mean, if this was some sort of like non-manip glitchless attempt, you might see him try to skimp out. But in a race, people are probably going to fill up because preferably you will not have to buy any more on the way to cops if you have enough left over. Now, Stallings getting up, you saw him tick up from 2 to 5 psychic points. That's good. Life up alpha costs 5 psychic points, so he can do 1 life up in this fight, which will max him out and try to save burgers. Frankenstein is actually scripted here. He always does steam, weak attack, which is throw a punch, steam, and then he can do strong or weak attack, with his strong attack being tear into you, which is exactly what he just did. Does about 30 damage, did 28 there. So because of that, the fact that this enemy is scripted, you can actually exploit the rolling HP mechanic and heal on the turn that he's going to hit you if you feel like it would kill you. As long as you have enough HP to survive long enough for your turn to get off. Because if you have less than 23 HP, you know, I can mash out like 23, 22. I've done all the way down to 20. Anything less than that, I'm dying. So SaltyPhry is beginning the slug grind, and he's already got a pack of slugs. Now, some people swear that auto-fighting the first pack of slugs is a bad idea, but I actually disagree with that. The strat that I use is I auto-fight the slugs, and if Ness does happen to not kill one, because on the first pack of slugs you get a level up, and that gives you enough offense to almost guarantee that you one-shot them. But the slugs have 30 HP, so what I do is I auto-fight, and if Ness hits a slug for less than 30, I disable auto-fight, and I make sure to target the same one, and then I go back to auto-fight. I see a question in the chat regarding whether or not this is a glitchless category. Yes, for the Boogie category, this is glitchless, and there is also no manip in this category since it is a race category. And if someone was to do the RNG manipulation through a net, they would save 20 minutes, and if the other person failed it, they would be 20 minutes behind. Well, I'm sorry, they wouldn't save 20 minutes. They would be 20 minutes ahead of the other racer, and you could die to Ant or Strong like twice, maybe almost 3 times, and still win. You could save before Boogie and just guarantee it. So you see SaltyPhry, I believe this is his 3rd pack here. This will put him up to 12 slugs. The magic number is 22. Some racers will move up once they hit 16, hoping to get a 6-pack on the top floor. 6-packs cannot spawn on the bottom floor. Oh, okay, you saw that right there. Ness hit for 28, I believe. So what he should have done is he should have disabled auto fight and targeted the same slug, because auto fight targets a random slug. It actually looks like it hit the proper one though, so he lucked out there. But yeah, if you're auto fighting and you hit a slug, you'll want to disable and you want to target the same slug, because the slugs actually can't concentrate until turn 4, and on turn 4 they're able to concentrate, and their hypnosis can actually put you to sleep. And if you fall asleep, you have a 25% chance to wake up of your own volition, 50% chance that they hit you. But sometimes they just sit there and derp around, don't hit you, and that 25% feels far, far lower. So you see SaltyPhry using the strat that people refer to as digging into a spawn plate. And he's basically just going back and forth into the same plate. I really like that strat. Okay, right there. You see he hit the slug for 29 instead of 30. Let's see. He's keeping auto fight on. Watch this. Oh, he is lucky. He is lucking out. Auto fight is definitely helping him out here. Now, he needs to be careful. If he keeps auto fight on, Ness is going to life up. Ness is going to life up. Yeah, if he would have kept one more round, Ness would have done a life up there. If you're below 1/4 HP, Ness will actually automatically life up because, you know, he'll be, like, critical. Oh, you saw that instant win? That was a single slug right there. And he got an instant win. So he's moving up. I believe that was 16. So he's hoping to get a 6-pack on the top floor. You need to be careful grinding on these other floors, though, because those are ants. 2 spawns are always antoids. They can call for help. You do not want to mess with those guys, because you still don't have rockin'. You got to bash them out. So Stallings getting into his first slug pack. He's also using auto fight, and same thing. So see, both these guys, I guess they don't... And see, right there, Stallings hit a different slug. So the third slug still has like 2 HP or whatever. So there you go. Now auto fight hit it. So SaltyPhry getting a 6-pack. The only thing that's scary about the 6-pack is that, as I said before, they're able to concentrate on the 4th turn, and it's going to take at least 6 turns to take them all out, assuming Nest doesn't miss and doesn't hit below 30 HP. But by the time you take a 6-pack, you should have enough offense to one-shot them. But notice, okay, see, the slugs can concentrate, so you got to be on the lookout for hypnosis now. Not getting it, and he should take out the slug, yeah. So SaltyPhry is done with this slug grind. I believe Stallings is at 4. So you're going to now see SaltyPhry either stutter past or despawn everything. He's going to probably check his offense. He's lifing up. You'll probably see him check his offense after he gets his butterfly here before he goes in, because if he has 24 offense or more, he can instant win the single antoid fights. He may have already checked it. If you see him stuttering, then okay, he's taking it, so he already knows. Maybe he saw it before and he watched the stat increase from the level. Oh, we got a cookie. Cookie struts. Cookie struts. That actually can come in handy. You can give the cookie to Apple Kid, because you have to give him a healing item. If you give him a burger, that's 1 less burger you have for Happy Happy. Stallings not getting any luck here. He just keeps getting these darn rodents. So there you go. Got some slugs. The mouse will not join the slugs, and Stallings knew that. Stallings knew that. That's why he ran up and took it. And then he can get away from the mouse with the iframes. You have about 3 frames of iframes after a fight in which you cannot get another fight. So SaltyPhry starting the ant fight. The strat here is to open with the rockin', because you want to take out the 2 antoids in the back. You might not be able to see the left one, but there's actually 2 back there, because those guys are nasty. They can actually life up Titanic Ant, which is not what you want. So Magnet's good. You notice that SaltyPhry used a burger instead of life up. If he would have done a life up instead of the burger, the magnet would have put him below 10 HP, and he would have been unable to get that second rockin' off. 55, that's a bad rockin' hit. SaltyPhry also has to watch out. He has the cookie in the bottom of his inventory, but he's cognizant of that, and he went up 2 cursor movements to the burger. But he needs to be careful. If he just does a muscle memory burger eat, he could potentially eat that cookie. So you see him having to go up. You know, it probably would be better just to drop the cookie, but you know, on the other hand, you can save it for Apple Kid. So there's competing ideas there. So Ant is shielding. You'll notice SaltyPhry is only doing in the teens as far as damage goes, because Ant put up a shield. The shield will eventually be depleted, but he keeps casting shield again, which restores the shield. Ooh, SaltyPhry healing on the damage turn there. Ant is being relentless. 45 damage. He's gonna run out of healing items. That was his last burger. Oh, this could be bad. This could be bad. He's auto fighting. He's out. He knows he's out. He knows he's out. He's going with the auto fight. He needs to pray that this kills. Oh, Nest missed. If Ant hits him, it's over. All he has left is the cookie. Oh my god, Ant down. If he went 1 more turn, he could have died there. So I bet SaltyPhry is wiping the sweat from his brow as we speak, because he was out on a wing and a prayer. Luckily, obtaining the melody restores your HP and psychic points. The downside of this, he's going to have to shop before cops. He did take out a little bit of money, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, because he's completely out. So he's probably going to save the cookie for Apple Kid, but he's going to have to probably buy at least 6 burgers. So that means he's going to have to use the ATM again. Oh, that's a weird spawn, but he's able to walk through it. So I'm actually not sure how many slugs here Stallings has. He's still on the bottom floor. This might be 16 for him. But yeah, that ant fight was wild. I had a very similar instance in my second match where I ran out of healing items and Ant killed me. Oh no, that was actually 22. So he did the full grind on the bottom floor strat. That's actually what I do. A lot of people like to go up, but I just prefer to do everything on the bottom and then stutter past everything. But if you're not really confident with stutters, some people like to do the bottom. I just like the bottom because I don't have to guess whether it's an ant or anything. Because people are like, well, you know, if it's a 2-pack, it's an ant. But I've had 2-packs next to each other, and they look like a 4-pack, and I get jebaited. So Stallings is just going to take this. He's probably just going to rock in it and go because he's going to be refilling his psychic points anyway. Ooh, it's a 6-pack. It looked like a 4-pack. So yeah, you see SaltyPhry. He knows that he's got to use the ATM because he would only be able to buy like 2 or 3 burgers, and he's got the one he picked up. So he's probably just going to pull out 300 here. Yep. So we'll have to see how many burgers he buys here. I would imagine he would buy at least 5 or 6. So let's see. Because you also want to have healing items for Happy Happy left over as well. Okay, I think that was 5 plus the one he picked up, so he's got 6. You really want to have at least 2 for Happy Happy, 3 to be super safe. So you saw Stallings going for some despawns there. It can be very tricky to despawn. Even experienced runners can get fights there because when there's more spawns on screen, there's more lag, and the lag really screws with your ability to stutter there. Like, you'll be tapping and Ness isn't moving, but the enemies are. So Stallings grabbing 2 butterflies, filling up his psychic points. You want to be full. Checking his offense, 23 offense. So he did not luck out on the offense like SaltyPhry did. So he's either going to have to despawn or stutter these enemies here. So he's going for the stutter. Ooh, this is tight. Oh, I think he's got it. Yeah, at first I didn't think he had it, but he got it. So SaltyPhry beginning the cops fight here. And what you don't want is you don't want the crushing chops. Anytime you're below 55 or 60, you're going to heal. Most people will try to heal mostly with the burgers until they get down to around 30 or so HP. Because at that point, you're sort of just trying to stay above water. You know, you're trying to keep your head above water at that point, and the life up will put you over the top. But you really only want to use at most 2 of your life ups that you can use because they're 5 each. Because you want to have enough psychic points to do 2 rockins on strong, and they're 10 each, so you need 20 psychic points. So Stallings really, see, taking this fight here. Got to be careful here. These things can call for help. Oh, we got the outspeed on turn 2, so you really don't want to use rock in there because then you'll be down on Ant. So he's gonna heal up before Ant. You do not play with Ant. Oh, SaltyPhry with the smash. That helps a lot. So he's going to need to life up on the next cop, and I believe he's going into the 4th cop, and you really want to be full for strong. So you may see him use a life up during this cop, so he can hopefully be full going into strong. Good start for Stallings, not getting a bash. You can just double rockin since he didn't get hit. You need to heal if he hits you starting out. So second rockin, hope this hits high. Ooh, put up the shield. So that is a shield of light. It only reduces damage, physical damage by 50%. It's not affected by rockin. Ness missing like the jerk that he is. Stallings is going to go ahead and use that life up because Ant can actually do Magnet, which drains your psychic points. So if you don't use that life up, if you use a burger and you're like, oh, I forgot my life up, you may lose the ability to do it. SaltyPhry going into the strong fight here. Let's see how he starts out. He's going to heal because he's at 50. If he got hit, he's in trouble. So healing up, smart move. I agree with that. I've actually died hitting strong when I had 60-something. He's actually not safe here with 64. Came out swinging. That's good. Okay, he's fine now. But if Strong was to use his submission move, he could get in trouble there. Yeah, he's good. Strong down. So Stallings doing work on Ant. Oh, this could be bad. Oh, the competing smashes. Smash actually depletes a shield, but it's not going to matter because he died to Ant there. Unfortunately, even though that's a smash, Ant had a shield up, which reduces the damage by half. So he only did 30-something damage there. I mean, even with the 16-something, that's not guaranteed to go. Now, Stallings is just going. He didn't even take the heal with Mom for the psychic points. He's probably banking on the fact that he can just use the butterflies on the way to Ant there. Now, SaltyPhry, strong down. That's actually a sub 30 O-net. We consider strong down as the end of O-net since that's the gatekeeper to get out. The barricades are removed once you beat strong. So that was actually sub 29, I believe, which is a very, very strong time for SaltyPhry. So Stallings going straight back, not even buying any more burgers. At least he can just go up all the way. He can just stutter everything. He's probably banking on the fact that he's got some burgers left, but in that case, he'll have to shop for cops. I mean, technically, it's a little quicker if you're going to reshop on the way to cops. It's less out of the way. So maybe that's what he's banking on, trying to save any time he can, because if he were to go down to the burger shop, he'd have to go back up. But he's going to be walking through town anyway to the police station. Yes, that was a very strong time, indeed. So you see SaltyPhry saving here. This is actually not a safety save. This is to set up a death warp back from Happy Happy. So you don't have to walk back through PRV. SaltyPhry not pulling out any money here. That's interesting. I would expect him to pull out money. Maybe he just figures since he pulled out so much money before he bought burgers, he can just use the ATM after the death warp. Generally, people will use the ATM here and try to pull out enough money so that they don't have to ATM the next time. But I guess if you're ATMing one time anyway, like he's already saving an ATM use due to the fact that he had to ATM again before the burger shopping. I suppose that's his thinking. But I mean, I guess for a lot of people, it's just habit, right there to do it. Because generally people will ATM there. And if this was a glitchless run, they would only pull out 500. But if you have, like, say, 600 or 570, you'll want to pull out the 10s as well. Because it's $100 to revive Paula after the death warp. And the extra money can make the difference. And fun fact, you really only need 199 because there's a rounding error in the game when it halves your money. Very nice play by SaltyPhry there. If you just blindly run out of that building, buffering right, and you're not looking for an enemy down there, by the time you see them, when they start aggroing you, you will have nowhere to go. You're out in open field, and you're just vulnerable. There's nowhere to get them stuck on. So what you have to do is, as soon as you see them, if they're aggroing you, you have to go straight up and behind Applicant's house. If you go out into the street, you're getting the encounter. SaltyPhry making his way through the sprout tunnels. Due to how narrow these tunnels are, you cannot ever walk by any sprout spawn. You must always despawn, which is pretty annoying. So Stallings here having some trouble with these ants. He got a free one. I'm surprised he didn't pick up that burger. It was free, and he didn't shop before Ant again. That burger could have come in handy. Nice skip there by SaltyPhry. I mean, that was pretty free. But sometimes those UFO spawns can be scary. Also, you notice SaltyPhry walking up above a very specific grass patch to trigger the Apple Kid call. In a casual run, you would go all the way up to the pencil probably and be like, hey, what's this? I'm going to check this pencil. And then you're like, well, I can't go anywhere, so I'm going to go back. But you really don't have to go all the way up to it. You only have to walk up high enough so that it's loaded. In this game, NPCs and enemies can actually be just off screen so that they are still loaded in memory and still moving. And for the NPCs and the randomly moving enemies, they can actually affect the RNG values, which is very insidious for the RNG manip. But he knew exactly where he had to go to load it. So now he's just going to go get the pencil eraser from Apple Kid in Berglund Park. So let's see if Stallings can get his revenge. I'm sure he's out for blood at Ant here. So not taking any risks, like using a burger here. Good move using the burger instead of the life up. As I said before, if he would use the life up there, he would have had 9 psychic points, 1 shy for the rock-in. 99 damage, much higher damage. What you don't want to see here is Ant putting up the shield of light. And he did it right as I said it. Ant, you're a jerk. Has anyone ever told you you're a jerk? Because you're a jerk. He should be doing 20-something damage here. Every attack that you see Stallings do is actually, should have been double. Stallings auto-fighting. Is he out of burgers? I think he might be out of burgers. Unless he's just trying to save all the frames that he can. Wow, nice one. Ant down. So I don't know if that was just him trying to save frames or if he is out of burgers there. Because a lot of times you'll see runners go to auto fight out of desperation. It's like, yo, I can't heal, because that's the reason you would not go to auto fight, so that you don't accidentally go into another attack round when you wanted to heal, like if you didn't disable auto fight quickly enough. But he may have just been counting HP there. He did get a 99 damage roll on one of the rock-ins, and Ant has 235 HP, I believe. So he may have just known he was close. Okay, I see someone said in a chat there that he is in fact out of burgers, which is not a surprise because he didn't reshop. That was very risky, but I guess he's trying to make up time for the fact that he died. Currently, SaltyPhry is in the lead, and he has quite a sizable lead. Unfortunately, Stallings has had 2 deaths. Death to the first Pogo Punk, and then death to Ant. And an Ant death actually loses you 7 minutes. So he's probably close to like 9 minutes behind at this point, really. Dying to Ant is a very... Well, he didn't reshop for burgers, but he does have to shop for cops. But Dying to Ant and Dying to Strong, those are the two worst deaths that you can get in Onet. But anything can happen in Happy Happy. If you die in Happy Happy, you have to walk back from Tucson. So if SaltyPhry gets bad luck at the Shack fight, or the Cultist fight, or Car Painter, he has to walk all the way back from Tucson. So this is not an insurmountable deficit by any means. Stallings, I didn't mention it, but Stallings had a very nice move when he went down the ropes from where Ant is. There was an Antoid blocking the door, and he went high, and the Antoid like moved, and then he went low and slid underneath it. It was a very slick move. SaltyPhry is just getting destroyed by these tunnels here. Every time he goes through the door, it's 2.5 seconds each way. So going in and out the door is 5 seconds. SaltyPhry, he's going to try to despawn this, but he can't. And there he goes. If any of those enemies are touching that slanted wall, you cannot despawn them. This is awful. Like oh, okay, so you saw him open the menu and throw the cursor around. That's kind of a superstitious thing. Okay, he can despawn that one. I mean, it's not completely superstitious, but sometimes we feel like we're getting just a bad chain of spawns. So, unfortunately, Stallings went to shop and then realized he needed more money. So, little extra time loss where you didn't need it. Only pulling out 100, so he's going to have to ATM in Tucson, unlike SaltyPhry. But anyway, as I was saying, SaltyPhry opened up the menu and did those cursor movements because he knows, apparently, how the RNG works in the game. And he knows enough that advances the RNG values in the game. Because he kind of felt like, hey, I'm getting bad RNG. I just want to change it. I just want to switch it up. SaltyPhry going through a very dangerous area of PRV. It's very easy to get pincered here. Luckily, there was nothing behind him, so he's able to go over and despawn. Oh, speak of pincers, and this. Okay, good. He's already he must have already gotten his butterflies, so he can actually make it through here. If you have not gotten your butterflies yet at this point, it's basically certain death. The UFO has high speed. He cannot run. But with these sprouts being so aggressive, he might be dead here. He needs to hope this kills all three of them. And it's not. This could be death. Oh, SaltyPhry dying to a PRV pincer. So Stallings has a chance to capitalize here. Unfortunately for Stallings, SaltyPhry is not going to lose that much time because he saved in the department store for the death warp, which actually kind of works as a safety save at this point. Oh, that's a good point. Someone pointed out that SaltyPhry did not completely withdraw. He didn't ATM in Tucson, so he didn't lose as much of his money, but he did withdraw 300 before he shopped for burgers. So he did lose a little bit of money there. You may see him make the decision to go for the hard hat in PRV, not because he wants the defense, but because he wants to save the money. So Stallings making his way through the cops. Gonna see him heal. He's at 49. Oh, the crushing chop missed. It's very good. Still hasn't used any life ups. SaltyPhry still getting the bad tunnel RNG that he was getting before. Oh, I spoke too soon and cleared up. So that was the second cop for Stallings. He's moving on to the third of 4 cops before fighting the boss, Captain Strong. Captain Stronk. So SaltyPhry, I didn't see if he grabbed a butterfly, but he's going to actually have to fill up on his butterflies again because he had already maxed out his psychic points. So there's one, Speak of the Devil. That's actually a 90% butterfly spawn. It's very, very likely that one will be there. Hard Hat is a 22-second time loss to walk over there, get it, and equip it, but that does not consider the time saved on not buying the Holmes hat, so it's probably about like 18 seconds or so net time loss. So I think SaltyPhry got 1 butterfly. I think he still needs to get another one. He's having a much better walk through this time. So let's see if he chooses to go for the hard hat, because he may have to use the ATM in Happy Happy to afford everything. I'm not sure. Strong double guarding, very good for Stallings. 114, that's a big rockin' hit. Strong's just on guard. Like, he has this place locked down. He's on guard. So SaltyPhry not opting to go for the hard hat. So he's either got enough money here, or he's just going to use the ATM. Because he did not withdraw in Tucson. He had the 300 that he withdrew in Onet, but he bought 5 burgers, and then he died and lost half of whatever he had remaining. So he might just use the ATM here. Or maybe he's banking on the fact that he doesn't have to. Yep, there he is. I was going to say maybe he's banking on the fact he doesn't have to buy any healing items or anything. Yeah, see, he's only got 30 bucks. Yeah, he knew he just had the ATM. Even getting the hard hat wouldn't have been enough. I thought he had more money than that. If he had ever used if he had used the ATM in Tucson, he might have been able to afford some more stuff. Was that a 119? I believe 120 is the max rock and roll. Did I just say rock and roll? We're jamming out. Rock and roll! You know, funny thing is they actually named Rockin' after the fact that rock and roll singers scream. Apparently the Japanese name for Rockin' was something along the lines of like some sort of like battle cry, and it didn't really translate directly into English. So they went with Rockin' because rock and roll singers scream, kind of like whatever the word was for the battle cry. I think it's funny that it's rockin' and not rocking. We're too cool for G's. Notice SaltyPhry talking right of the door. You actually do not have to talk to the door. When the NPC is moving, their hitbox is extended, and you can actually talk to them quite a bit away. You see Stallings pulling out every dollar that he can. Normally you would have more money there, so he's trying to get as much as he can. He's actually had 2 deaths, and you lose half your money every time you die. So SaltyPhry in the shack fight, typically you just double rockin' here, and unless something goes wrong, like a call for help or a missed rockin', that will generally end the fight. Ooh, nice, a one shot. Those cultists have 94 HP, and the rockin' did 99. That was very good. That's 2 misses from the cultist. He didn't even get hit, did he? Did he even take any damage? He might have taken a little damage, but the cultist missed twice. He's not even going to have to life up before the cultist. That's very good. Generally, you'll want to heal up after that fight, but he doesn't even have to. You notice these cultist spawns in the tunnel here. You got to be very careful of those guys, because since you just fought the shack fight, and that is a scripted fight from which you cannot run, if you get a random cultist spawn, which uses the same enemy data, it has the same no-run flag set, and you cannot run from them. Your chance to run goes up 10%, but you could fight those guys for eternity and not be able to run, because it's impossible. It's not based on speed. It's just you cannot run. Doesn't matter what your speed is. You ain't running from them. So this guy SaltyPhry is fighting is pretty scary. Oh, now you see why. Okay, so he's going for the rockin'. You're hoping that this takes at least one of them out. He already bashed that one, so it should. So he's got to bash this guy. Don't call for help. Don't you do it. Oh, this is why this cultist gives me nightmares. Gives me nightmares. So he's going to heal up. If he doesn't heal here, he's probably dead. Choosing the croissant, which is the more powerful healing item. It heals for about 60, although we got a low roll there. It only healed for 56. So, unfortunately, he's not going to have any rockins for strong unless he gets a nice psychic point update here, like maybe a vitality update. So, finishing the fight with Cultist D. So, he's going to be down on healing items. Let's see, he's getting a level here. Is he going to get up to 10? I don't think he will. No, he didn't get any psychic points. So, he has no rockins for Car Painter. He had to burn, what, 2 healing items? Although he can, you know, the silver lining is he didn't have to use any on the shack fight. He does have 5 psychic points for a life up. He's not doing it because there is a possibility that Car Painter could double reflect himself and kill himself. Since Paula gave you the Franklin badge, it'll actually reflect any lightning attacks. When Car Painter does lightning, that's Psi Thunder, and there's a 25% chance when there's a single possible party member to target that it will reflect. So he's using it. Getting reflect, these can do a max of 180 damage. 152 is a big reflect. Big reflect. So you're going to see him heal on this turn because Car Painter scripted. He's going to do a bash attack. So he's going with the burger. Boom, mortal damage. But due to the rolling HP meter, you're able to exploit it to survive things that you would otherwise die from. And the reason he didn't do the life up is he doesn't want to use that. You want to have as little HP coming out of this fight as possible. Unfortunately, I think, oh, Carpenter missed, and now he lifed up. So if Carpenter dies here, he's not going to have a good death warp setup, because you're going to be death warping after this boss. And then he missed. Ness missed. Carpenter lifed up by 100. This is a wild fight. This could be bad. He's going to have to use his life up. He's going to have to use his life up. Yeah. Oh, he's almost dead. Okay, there he is. If he went one more turn, he was going to have to use his life up. So he might. Let's see how much HP he gets here. 53. That's kind of a lot for the mole. So most people will go to the very first mole right inside of Lilliput, the mole playing rough. The only problem is that guy can confuse himself. He can miss a lot, and sometimes it can just take forever. Some runners will opt to go to PRV and try to death warp off of a, preferably a UFO, because they're very aggressive, or maybe a spinning robo, which are slightly less aggressive. Those guys like to shield, like, yo, check out the shield I got. I'm gonna do it again, and then they just don't hit you. But a lot of people don't realize that you can actually take a tree fight with the sprouts, and you can bash the tree so it'll explode, and due to having the other enemies in the fight, you will take mortal damage from the tree, and if it was only the tree, the fight would end because the tree died. But with the other enemies in the fight, it makes it so that the fight continues and you die from the explosion. So we will have to wait and see. If I had to guess, I'm going to say SaltyPhry is just going to go to the mole. Most people, if they're below like 60, 70, will just go to the mole, whereas other people just go to the mole no matter what. A lot of people are scared. They're scared of the PRV death warp. It takes 13 seconds to go to PRV if you have the optimal spawn. Like right in front of the door, it's 13 seconds extra just to get there. But I mean, I've lost over a minute on the mole before just from him confusing himself. Heck, I've even had the mole confuse himself and smash himself and kill himself. And then I had to get another fight. It's just ridiculous. That mole needs glasses. So SaltyPhry setting up for the death warp here, dropping the hard hat, dropping the, the Holmes hat, dropping the cheap bracelet. You do not have to unequip an item before you drop it. Also notice SaltyPhry going left around the building. There's a photo trigger that becomes active once you get Paula back in your party. He knew that, obviously, walked around it. Don't want the 20-second time loss from the photo. So here is where he will make his decision for where he's going for the death warp. He is going to the mole. It is about a 90% spawn, I believe. It's not guaranteed. A lot of people think that this mole is 100%, but it's not. Oh, it's not there. You can actually go straight down and straight back up and respawn it, but he's going to venture in for another one. Oh, he was maybe thinking he was going to go to a bear. It looked like he was going to try to get out of the way, but the mole was actually blocking his path. So it looked like he was gonna try to go for a bear, but he saw that the mole was in the way, so he just took it. So you see SaltyPhry using the ATM card. He does not want to defend because defending makes him take half damage, and he's trying to die here. So using the ATM card is a way to essentially not hit the mole and kill him and not take half damage. And that was a very good mole death warp there. Only one miss or so. Very, very good death warp. So you saw Stallings outrunning the trees. The tree, oh, he's pincered here. Okay, the tree moves slow. He can just walk past the tree. Yeah, he can just walk past that. Maybe he's scared there's something after it. He can just walk by this thing. Just go. Just run. Run, Ness. Run home. Run home, Charlie. Run home, Charlie. So yeah, those trees, just like the cave boys and winners, move very slow. You can walk faster than they can. That snake there, these are 100% snake spawns in this tunnel. They're always there, and sometimes they kamikaze you, but you just instant win them. It's a 5.5, 6 second time loss. No big deal. ATM card is no good in fights. Hey man, you could sharpen that thing and give them some, I don't know, give them some paper cuts or something. I don't know why you got a paper ATM card, but, you know, use your imagination, kids. Use your imagination. So Stallings making his way over to get the Franklin badge, and then he will have the Shaq fight, which everyone lovingly refers to as Shaq, as in Shaquille O'Neal. Yo, someone say Shaq? No, Shaq. I didn't say Shaq. I said Shaq. Yes, what I said. I said Shaq. Okay, well, fine. We can have it. We can call it the Shaq fight if you want. All right, I can do it. So hopefully the Shaq fight here goes well. Someone say Shaq Fu. So let's see. You're gonna see him do the rockin', just double rockin', and hope nothing goes bad. Ooh, Cultist C. Okay, that's actually not bad because that actually ends up being an empty attack in terms of damage. And as long as you don't outspeed with the rock in there, it's actually okay to get the call for help. The extra Cultist can actually give you another level. Ooh, was that a mistake? I think that was a mistake going to auto fight because you really wanna use the other rockin', and things can get out of hand. This is a little scary. Maybe he's just trying to preserve his psychic points for Card Painter. But due to the fact that these guys can call for help, I wouldn't do that. That's scary. I hate this fight. I just want to get in and get out of this fight. So you see him going around the house. I think that's the quickest path. The photo trigger I mentioned earlier is not active there yet. A lot of people are just kind of paranoid about photo triggers when they don't know precisely where they are. So I do see a lot of people try to force paths up top the house when there's enemies there because they apparently don't realize that they can actually go through the bottom at that point and not get the photo. So Stalin's making his way in. Gonna fight the other cultist. This is the other fight that we feared due to the potential calls for help. And there it is. There it is. The call for help. So he's going to keep auto fight on. And he's trying to preserve his psychic points here. A lot of times you'll see people when there's a call for help, they'll go to the rockin'. But since he has enough psychic points here, he's probably just going to open with a rockin'. Here's the thing. Since Card Painter is scripted, he always does lightning, life up, bash, lightning, shield, bash, repeat. And since he always does life up turn 2, runners will generally not burn a rock in turn 1, knowing that he's just going to turn around and life up second turn. But since he puts up a shield, you'll probably see him, if he's thinking about the shield, he's probably just going to go ahead and burn these rockets. No, he's not. He's going to bash. But if he ends up, I guess he's got enough HP, he won't have to heal after the bash turn. So he's going to spam rockets now. Spam those rockets, boy. 86, good damage roll. See, normally you would have to heal here. So if you heal, you won't be able to get the other rocket off because it will put the shield up. So if he had healed... Oh, never mind. I guess he's just going to lightning reflect himself. So SaltyPhry going for a photo skip here. You actually can go between the pole and the dude, but, you know, sometimes you can actually lose time trying to save frames. Spam them rockets. But yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, sometimes you can actually lose your ability to get the other rocket off if you have to heal, because you heal, and then he will put up a shield after that second lightning, and that is a psychic shield, so the rockets no longer do any damage. It just dissipates the whole attack. It doesn't reflect it or anything. It just dissipates it because it's shield alpha, psi shield alpha. Psi shield beta would be the one that would reflect it for damage. But yes, very good fight. I mean, the rockets help, but really, you're just hoping for those high lightning reflects. You're hoping for the reflects, and you're hoping for them to be high. Now, the reason you may be wondering, well, if he lights up on the second turn, why do you even bash? Why don't you just defend? Well, first off, sometimes when the double rockets occur, it's actually not enough to kill him. So you do that bash because sometimes that bash can be enough to put him over the top. So let's see how much money Stallings has here. If he has at least $199, he will be able to avoid withdrawing from the ATM after the Death Warp. That's because there is a rounding error. So he has oh, he's $1 short. He's going to have to use the ATM to be able to afford the revive because you lose half your money. Due to a rounding error in the game, you actually, whenever you have an odd number of dollars, you actually get a free dollar in the sense that it takes one fewer from you than it should because it just truncates the fractional part when it does the math for having your money. It actually divides by 2 and then subtracts that amount from your amount. But when it divides by 2, it does integer division, which truncates the fractional part. So you basically just get $1 for free. Wow, both runners not having the mole spawn there. That is quite bad luck. And I guess neither of them knew that it's quicker to just go straight down and straight back up to respawn it. You really don't want to venture in unless you're going for a bear or like bats. I've seen people death warp off bats before. So this is what you don't want. You don't want the mole to sit here and confuse himself. Oh, the gut save from the mole or from Ness. He actually did enough damage to kill him, but as I said before, you have the same chance to survive mortal damage as you do to get a smash. And there he is, finish him off. So you have a 1 out of 20 chance here to survive mortal damage based on your gut stat. It's really guts over 500, but until guts over 500 exceeds 1 over 20, it's whichever one is greater, and 1 over 20 is going to be greater, as I said earlier. So he literally just took out $1. You know, technically that's optimal. That's smart. You really don't need the money for anything else unless you die to Boogie and you need to buy more rockets, but you would have to ATM anyway. Yeah, I see some people saying that it's technically not an error. That's probably accurate, but regardless, the point I was trying to make is that if you were considering normal math with it, it would not be accurate, because if you have $199 and you die, what happens is it divides 199 by 2. You have 99.5. It truncates the 0.5, then subtracts the 99 from the 199, yielding a result of $100. So yeah, technically it's not a rounding error, but it's not what you would it's not what you would normally expect. I actually had that happen to me the other day, and it seemed like nobody had ever seen it before. I wouldn't call it lazy. It's just, I mean, they probably figured nobody would ever notice, honestly. You know what they say, it's not a bug, it's a feature. They're like, oh, you get a free $1, kid. Go buy some bubblegum. Yeah, David, another runner in the series, oh hey, it's David, actually had the same thing happen to him. So the funny thing here is we actually never fight Everdread, so he's just chilling on the house. If this was a casual playthrough, you would have seen a guy on a house and been like, hey, I want to go check that out. And when you get near him, he jumps down. He's a boss, and he's a tough boss. And then he goes back inside his house when he's done, but he's just chilling on the house because we never fought him. Well, the reason it does that, I believe, is because due to the fact that this game was written in assembly, it uses it probably uses like the div instruction to divide, and then it probably subtracts that from like some other register or something like that. I haven't actually dug into the code to see the exact control flow, but I'm guessing it has something to do with how the instructions work, since a lot of them are single operand. Like you would think you would want to do like x equals x divided by 2, but you can't quickly do that. You have to do them individually. You have to do the division, and then you would have to do the assignment, and it's probably some value in a register somewhere or whatever. So for whatever reason, it was probably easier just to do it that way. Because you got to remember, they're not programming in a high-level language. It's 65C816 assembly. It's actually an extension of 6502, which is what the NES uses. So SaltyPhry getting Bubble Monkey, everybody's favorite character. Okay, he's not even going to mess with this goat here. This is 100% spawn, so you got to take something unless you get super lucky. He's going to go to the left and despawn it here and hope nothing's there. It is there. Oh, he's in the middle. What's he going to do? Oh, okay. He was going to get red swirled there, so he just turned around to just to take it. I mean, this technically, there is a benefit here. You have a chance to get a bread roll. Is he going to get it? He got the bread roll, so you can actually use that on the first proto, and he got a level out of it. So the first proto fight is very scary right inside Brick Road, so that actually ended up being a positive, I would say. It was a very quick fight, and there's no reason to heal when you sleep in the tent. you actually get a heal there. When I was new running this game, I would fight a goat and then I'd heal and then I'd sleep, and I'm like slapping my forehead like, hey, I get a heal here. So you get a heal when you sleep here. So notice he did not drop the spray can. I see a lot of runners in Boogie% drop the spray can since you don't need the money from it, just trying to save the text there, because you get a couple seconds of text saying that Jeff fixed the spray can. SaltyPhry doing a photo skip, you have to walk right below the bottom of that tent there. And if you go even a couple, it's not pixel perfect, you can go down a pixel or so, but if you go down too much, you will get the photo. You'll see a lot of newer runners walk behind the tent just to take the safe route. You notice SaltyPhry kind of paused before he triggered the cutscene there, because Bubble Monkey walks slower during the cutscene than he does normally when he does a little catch-up thing. And who did we trigger? Tessie, everybody's big favorite purple dinosaur. I know another purple dinosaur. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Yes, I am. It's Barney. It's Barney. Barney, the purple dinosaur. Tessie and Barney. Let's make a Tessie Barney. Like, let's do like our own story, like the story of Tessie and Barney. Let's get some MS Paint Beast in the chat, please. All purple dinosaurs matter. Not gonna say it. Yes, I am. Yo, I love the combo with the fire hands. People have been getting wild with the Tessie emote. Like, every time I see a race, I see some other new combo. Like, apparently Tessie is a gangster, because Tessie often has a gun. I don't know what that is about, but I wouldn't mess with Tessie. Don't mess with Tessie. Don't do it. So you see SaltyPhry taking a apparently non-optimal path there that actually skips a 100% gruff goat spawn. It exploits an off by 1 error in the game's code. It, I believe it divides by 2 and then subtracts 1, trying to find like a specific like pixel position or whatever. But for whatever reason, it actually doesn't count up high enough. I'm not completely sure of all of the technical specifications, or the specifics rather, but there is a instance where it subtracts by 1 for some odd reason. And it actually, if a spawn plate comes into a certain position, it will not count up high enough. And it actually almost can't see, loosely speaking, the spawn plate, and it doesn't check it to see if anything should spawn there. SaltyPhry getting by the first proto very easily. He didn't need the bread roll. That was a very clean fight. What you really don't want is calls for help there. It looked like he might have been able to get a duck skip. If he would have ridden the right wall instead of the left wall, the duck may not have aggroed, and you might have been able to get what I call the swag duck skip, where you just walk by. Duck's like, ooh, I'm in the corner, I'm not paying attention. The duck kind of has like a little bit of a delay to his aggro. He's like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna come for you and fall down and make you not be able to use your psychic points. SaltyPhry, what he's trying to do here is get Bubble Monkey to stop. And because when he stops, he does the little catch-up-y thing. And unfortunately, he's not able to get the skip there. Bubble Monkey smash! Bubble Monkey is not having it. He is not having it. Getting lucky with these calls for help. Nobody's coming. This guy has no friends. No friends. So he is done with Brick Road. An interesting thing about Brick Road is, since the Proto, Duck, and other Proto are not random spawns, they're not even 100% spawns, they're technically scripted enemies. Even if you were to glitch out the game to turn off spawns, they will still be there. And when you hit the exit of Brick Road, it actually triggers it so they're all gone. SaltyPhry getting very lucky with the entrance into Pond Cave. It really is not good when you have to despawn over and over through that door, because it's 5 seconds every time. You'll see some runners stutter in Pond Cave, but it's pretty risky. Unless you're just super confident in your stutters, you should not. Now, a lot of people will stutter this room, because this room is pretty free because of how open it is. The reason stuttering Pond Cave is bad is because the rooms come to those narrow points and you get pincered. That was actually a hamburger in that present there, just in case you were wondering. Sometimes you'll see runners grab that hamburger for a little bit of extra safety. But yeah, as I was saying, if you hit the exit of Brick Road and you had gotten like duck skip or something and you die, all the spawns will be gone. Because typically if you get a skip and you die, that enemy is still there. But once you hit the exit of Brick Road, like if you die in Pond Cave, the enemies are gone. So SaltyPhry getting a fight here. Luckily the slugs, if you're going to get any sort of fight here, the slugs are what you want. They're very weak. 3 of them is kind of a lot, but you know, it's an easy fight. It's not a big deal. As you see, the narrow part SaltyPhry is passing through. That's why this is so dangerous to stutter and why he's not doing it. Because even top level runners can, you know, sometimes top level runners, they like to think that they can stutter anything, and that's exactly what can happen right there. So this one's a little bit more of a scary fight because it was a red squirrel. These mice have very high guts. I think they have like 225 guts or something. And as I said before, the chance to smash is guts over 500. So they have almost a 50% chance to smash, just like that. It's 40-something%. Oh, you smash me? I smash you. Actually, you're dead, so I smash your friend. Got that shared justice. Yeah, 225. So whatever 225 over 500 is, it's 40-something%. Jeff smash. Wait a minute. If Jeff smash, that means he doesn't have the gun equipped. Jeff, it's actually impossible for ranged weapons to smash. And when Jeff uses guns, those cannot smash. That must have been a Bubble Monkey smash, unless he dropped the gun for some reason. I don't think he would have done that. That's actually how you know you done goofed on the first proto. When you smash the first proto with Jeff. No, well, yeah, if he's bashing, but if he's using the gun, meaning he has it equipped, it's impossible to smash. Not really, at least in the speed run, because we don't level grind really. You know, we skip as many levels as we can. Now, if you were to get the gutsy bat, like in one of the manipulated categories or something, like there's some categories where people will manip just the gutsy bat and then drop manip at that point. In some of the other categories, so in those categories it would be, because the gutsy bat gives you plus 127 or 128 guts or something like that. It gives you a lot of guts. Right. It's not bash when you have a gun equipped. It's shoot. You saw SaltyPhry getting past those mushrooms at the end there. Those guys can really troll you. But when they're spawned down to the right, you can just get past them. And these cave boys are like the territorial oaks in Peaceful Rest Valley. You can just walk by them. They're slow. Yeah, the Gutsy Bat is actually Ness's ultimate weapon. It's a 1 out of 128 drop from the Bionic Kraken, which can only spawn in Room 2, a Cave of the Past. Stallings going for the optimal photo skip, and he gets it there. Wasted a few frames setting it up. Monkey was following him, so he went ahead and triggered the cutscene for Barney. I mean Tessie. I'm sorry. It's not Barney. So SaltyPhry talking to Ando Nuts, and he's going to hop in a Skyrunner. You actually have to, when Ando Nuts walks over, you have to press a button. People will typically mash, just trying to hit that first frame. You know, as speedrunners, gotta save the frames. And once you hit a button, the Skyrunner will start shaking. A lot of people are a little paranoid with it when they're new. They don't realize that once the Skyrunner starts shaking, it'll actually take off. They'll actually wait for it to take off. But you don't have to do that. You can just go. And this is, you know, technically what we consider one of the official bathroom breaks of the run for the full glitchless run, because this is generally, at least for your first run, a 6 to 8 hour run. You know, most runs are going to be around 4 to 5 hours. If you're really good, less than 4 hours. World record is 3:47:41. Oh, crap. Tessie, I didn't say it. I swear. It wasn't me. Yeah, so I see a question in chat there. As soon as the Skyrunner starts shaking, you only have to press A once. I mash it just trying to hit the first frame. But once it starts shaking, you can get up, go get a drink, do whatever you need to do. I mean, for this run, you really don't need to go do anything during the cutscene because the end is coming up. The end is nigh. All shall end soon. But in the glitchless run, this is really your first chance to go use the bathroom if you need to, which is a very common theme in very long RPGs. You notice Stalling taking the same pathing there, skipped the Gruff Goat spawn. All right, approaching what we call the hardest enemy in the game here. Ooh, Stallings was going for the first proto skip, which is, I don't know if it's pixel perfect or not, but if it's not, it's very close. It's very difficult to get. Very few runners have ever pulled it off in a run. I've actually gotten it one time, and that's it. I actually quit going for it just because I never get it, and you end up losing time if you go for it and don't get it. Oh, Stalling's going to try for a duck skip here. Duck skip is pretty RNG involved, though, and he quickly realized that duck is not in a favorable position, so he's just taking it there. Yeah, basically right now, for Stallings to win, he needs to bribe Boogie Tent to just go nuts on SaltyPhry. But, you know, it is... I would say it's rare. It's not too rare, though, but Boogie Tent does kill people. Boogie Tent is a potential run killer. Yeah, the Boogie Tent will decide it. Yeah, if you die twice on Boogie Tent, you basically would have to go grind on enemies to get money to buy more rockets. Most people would just forfeit at that point. So Stalling's getting a call for help here. That's not what you want to see. At least at this part, you're a little stronger. And luckily, he was able to life up there, use the bold egg, max out his HP. So you saw SaltyPhry grab the bear. The bear has a 75% chance to take an attack. That a lot of people would despawn those puppets that he had there, but SaltyPhry knew the aggro radius of those enemies is very small. And he went ahead and just walked right by him. Very good move. Oh, he's actually going to buy some extra bottle rockets. He's not taking any chances here. He's going to sell the defense spray for 250 bucks. And let's see how many bottle rockets he buys here. This is interesting. I thought he would just go straight to the fight. So Stalling's getting that bad luck pond cave entrance. This is 5 seconds every time. 2.5 this way, 2.5 that way. Watch the timer. So 58 coming in. 03. See, it's 5 seconds every time. Did SaltyPhry get a bomb? I didn't see him buy the bomb. Maybe he's been reading Discord. So, okay, very intelligently going defend BBR, because if Boogie targets Jeff and the rocket animation goes off, and Ness will always outspeed Jeff there, I believe, Jeff will die. And if you don't get the BBR off, you are in trouble. And Boogie Tent down for SaltyPhry. So this is going to be a win for SaltyPhry. Very nicely played. This is going to be I don't think he's going to cut the 112. This is probably going to be a 113, which is a very good time. Very good time. A lot of levels here because Paula is level 1 and Jeff is like level 2 or 3 or so. So Stalling's picking up the burger I mentioned earlier. A little extra safety there. Can't hurt. So timing ends on getting the fly honey. And SaltyPhry has finished with an official SRL time of 1:13:22. Congratulations to him on this victory. So you saw Stallings there taking a single slug fight. You can actually, a lot of people don't realize that you can instant win single slugs in Pond Cave with Jeff, just like you can in Ness in Giant Step. When you get the single slugs that are broken off and you instant win them, same thing. Slugs are so weak that you can instant win them. So you saw Stallings open up his menu and then close it out. He was waiting for Bubble Monkey to catch up to him because, excuse me, not only does Bubble Monkey float through the air slower than he walks, but he actually returns to the position that he was in when you used the bubble gum. Look, see how he walked back? If you use it with him at a distance, he has to walk all the way back to where he was. And Stallings not opting to get the bottle rocket. See the present on the bottom left? That's a bottle rocket. I'm really surprised he's not grabbing that there. Maybe he just feels like he's behind. You know, maybe he's not looking, and he doesn't know that SaltyPhry is actually finished already, and he's just trying to save any time he can. So you saw him sort of take a stutter step there right before the top of the rope. That was to give the other mushroom time to aggro, because if you don't, they follow a straight line to you. They don't have AI for navigating around objects. They go in a straight line to you. And so if you're moving up while they are moving towards you, they can actually end up clearing the top of that ledge and getting you. So making it into the lab. Jeff gonna talk to his dad, who apparently lives not too far from the boarding school, Snowwood, and hasn't even seen Jeff in 10 years. And then he talks to him about like wetting the bed and all this stuff. Like, what kind of father is this guy? And then he puts him in this machine, which I don't know, it might crash. So I don't know if it's just not a well-built machine, or maybe Jeff is just not the best navigator. I mean, do we really know? Do we really know? Oh, is it really the second visit? Well, I'll be darned. You know, there's so much bedwetting in this game that I guess I couldn't keep all my bedwetting straight. You're right. He does tell Ness. You know, he's not content with confronting his son straight on about his bedwetting. He has to embarrass him in front of his friends, so it's even worse. Yeah, he's like, hey, he wets the bed, but he's a nice boy. That's literally what he says in the game. That's literally what he says. So we got a nice little cutscene here. Ooh, wow, what's this? A desert. Interestingly, there are no spawns, as you can see, because the desert is a veritable cornucopia of spawns. You just got spawn tiles everywhere, but they are actually disabled during cutscenes, and that's kind of proof of that. Because if spawns were on during the cutscenes, somebody would have seen a spawn by now. There's some discussion in the chat about the bomb strats. I really don't think that helps too much, because the Rock-ins are gonna do more damage than the bomb actually. I mean, they're close. The only advantage is the bomb can't hit. The bomb can do 45 to 135, I believe is the damage range on a bomb. The average is 90. And the Rock-in, I'm actually not sure of the damage range on the Rock-in, but I believe the max is 120. I'm not sure what the lower bound on it is. So the bomb can hit for a little bit more, but I guess if you were going to use it, unless you had fire on Paula, you'd probably want to put the bomb on Paula, since she's pretty useless in terms of damage dealing. In fact, I just defend with her. If you do the solidify, you're really only hoping for the 25% chance of, or the solidify. If you do the freeze, rather, you're hoping for the 25% chance to solidify, because it's only going to do like 8 or 9 damage. Yeah, it can't miss, but the Rock-in missing is rare enough that you know, it's not a huge deal. Yeah, the Rock-in miss is based on speed, just like physical damage. Yeah, that's a good point. The bomb is quick enough that even if Jeff gets hit, the bomb will get off quickly enough for him to get the BBR off. So Stallings going for the tech skip, and he gets it. If you use the bad key machine with a little distance or from below the door, you can actually skip the tech saying the door is locked. Saves a couple seconds. And you might be saying, wow, 2 seconds. That's nothing in a speed run. I mean, it's like 1 or 2. And actually, if you think about it, 2 seconds is what separates first and second from each other on the glitchless leaderboard. So Stallings opting to not get the bear. I actually saw some discussion of this strat the other day. If you do the defend BBR strat, it can actually help, because if someone dies, it's less level ups if Paula or Jeff die. And that's exactly what he's going to do, defend BBR. And also, I saw him using the skip sandwich. Very interesting strat. He must have... did he pick that up in the Cultist HQ after Car Painter? I didn't notice that. Bye, Jeff. And there we go. Boogie tent down. Boogie tent. Oh, and Jeff actually survived, so he doesn't get the benefit of having the kid dead. If this was glitchless, you would want all of the kids to be alive. Otherwise, you'd have to go revive them. But since the run ends at the Fly Honey, you would rather have Paul or Jeff dead so that they don't level up as much. Hey, so I see people talking about a bad BBR. I've actually had a BBR completely miss on Boogie Tent. It's a 0.01% chance. Not 1%, not 0.01, 0.01%. And I had that happen in a run. It was streamed. I have witnesses. As far as I know, I'm the only person to ever have it happen. All right, so Stallings is just about to have time here. And it looks like Stallings has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 32 seconds. Congratulations to both runners. GG to both of them. So if you're not following those guys, be sure to throw both of them a follow. Congrats again on a great run. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me take a look and see if we have anything scheduled coming up. I would think that this would be it for tonight, but I'll take a quick check and see what we've got coming up on the schedule here on Speed Gaming. So let's see. Yeah, that's going to do it. I believe that's going to do it for tonight. It looks like if you want more Earthbound here on Speed Gaming, looks like tomorrow night we've got one at 7:30 Eastern Time. That's going to be Admiral Vise versus Tueler Fiber 7 on Speed Gaming 2. At 11 Eastern, we're going to have Ultimo Ice, the current world record holder for Glitchless, versus Penguinator at 11 Eastern on Speed Gaming 2. And it's actually, I'm sorry, it's already past midnight for me, so that's the 25th on both of those. So actually, those are going to be Monday. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the calendar here, and it's just past midnight. So actually tonight, my bad, tonight at 9 Eastern on Speed Gaming 2, we have Kekuman Shoyu versus Stallings, who just raced tonight, BrStallings23. And we will also have Flesh 177 versus Wardfail at 1:30 Eastern. Actually, I don't know if that one's getting a restream yet. That one's not listed as having a restream. So yeah, it looks like right now the only ones confirmed on Speed Gaming is going to be tomorrow night at 9 Eastern on Speed Gaming 2. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check that out and keep up to date with the schedule for all the upcoming races on Speed Gaming. With that said, that's going to do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed this race, and make sure to check back tomorrow for that race to get all your Earthbound needs and get your fix for all of the Earthbound Super Series. Have a good night.